Hi, I'm Holly Flink. I'm super nervous about this and upset because there were so many issues, but I'll get into it. I'll go through the whole level first, and then I'll show the triggers. We're gonna start, we're gonna come check out what this guy is. Welcome to the escape house. Your objective is to find the keys to open the door in the back and press O to open the first door. Alright, so yeah. The door opens. Oh, man. Hold on. Alright, so something went wrong there. Unfortunately, I can't fix it. So I'm gonna walk in here. Oof. The door in front of you will open with 3 keys: the couch, the safe. Oh, that's also wrong. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. This time everything should be okay. So we saw that. That's over there, so we're gonna go and check it out. So the door in front of you will open with 2 keys: the couch and the safe. All have hidden keys. Go to each one to find it. So let's go to the couch first. And once again, text is messed up. Don't worry about it. Give me a moment. Sorry. I also think the first time I went to edit, I forgot to hit the stop record. I can't get the trigger boxes to work on this, but that's okay. I'll accept it. So find the 3 keys. Cool. So let's go to the couch first. So this is our hint. The first letter of the Disney movie that made people cry will move the couch. Now, there could be several answers to the question, like Bambi, that's a very sad movie, but a more prominent movie that everybody knows of is Up, a very sad movie. So we're going to press U, and the couch is going to move. And this is our key. And now the key's gone and it's in our inventory. Oh, well, I know it's in our inventory. 1 key will open the safe door and another will destroy the box. You must get both to get the key. This letter marks the spot, so X marks the spot, so X will open your first one, so let's go up and press X on this box. Alright, now we still can't get to the key yet, so, and it went away, which is strange, but we can look at it like this. That was weird. So they work after I learned. So, oh well. The letter, and then this animal is white with black stripes, so the beginning letter of that animal, which is a zebra, so I'll put a C, and boom, we can get our key. Now the key is supposed to open the door. Unfortunately, it didn't work. So let's go into blueprints. I have to pull up every blueprint. I should have done this beforehand, but I didn't. Blueprints. I'll pull that one up. I'm going to leave those two open. Open that up. We have to go into... They're off camera right now, sorry. That's not what I want. I mean, it is, but... I'm so sorry. There it is. That's the one. I think that should be all of them. Over here is everything that I used. A lot of boxes, because I made a lot of the world out of boxes. I also made a mistake of making this world in a blank map instead of a first person one, because that would have made the keys probably work how they're supposed to work. There's the couch and door matinee, which I can show you. Oh, that's not what I meant to do, but that's fine. Alright, so first I want to start with my first problem, which was my character. Because I didn't do it in a first person map, I had to create my own character, which actually worked really, really, really well. So this is the movement for it. There's also world project settings that I had to change. In my maps and modes, I had to change this to my the player start mesh that I had to create, which is in characters. Can't see it. It's in player. I had to make a new file. This is player start. And then I had to go into input and change all the movements and how I move, which worked actually really well, and I really like it. But because I don't have a first person, that's the movement, that's the camera and how the camera moves. Because I didn't have my first person viewport, like for the first person player blueprints and all that they give you in the blueprint map, I couldn't really make a lot of the keys that I was seeing on tutorials. I found one that worked. It was working, and I had it working, and it was perfect, and it was beautiful, and it was great. And I went to duplicate. I had to add my second key in there, which was another process in another video of duplicating it. And once I had duplicated it, I had messed up a bunch of stuff, so I had to go back and delete, and I accidentally deleted, which was the box. It was the pickup box, so it was the kind of the trigger in which to pick up the keys, and then everything fell apart. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I'll just put it back together. Deleted everything, went to put it back together, wouldn't work. Couldn't get it to work. So I had to do a different key. So this is what the key looks like, just gold box, which the other one looked the same. So this is what I found on a different tutorial. I couldn't find him, sorry. So I had to add this on it so that like you could pick up the keys and all that, and there's, you know, 2 of them so it knows. I had to add this so that you could actually, you know, get the values and stuff. The problem is that once again this tutorial was in another first-person blueprint, so that's what was different in this scenario versus the video. But once I got it all like in here, it worked. It works. Obviously, you saw I was able to pick up the keys, and it works. There's the key itself, and then this is the key value that I just showed you. But everything, it was working. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. So it begins. It has to do some like configuring so that it works with this. And then my character class, which is basically your player. Once you walk over the actor, which is the key, it'll insert into your value and destroy it. So it'll insert into you, so you now have 1 key, and it destroys that key once you pick it up. And of course I had 2. I put 2, duplicated it, had 2. The other thing was about this video is that the way he had done it was that he created a blueprint door, whereas my other door I did differently, which I'll show you in a minute. But I basically started the same way. So the door, when you get near the trigger that's in front of the door, which I can actually show you. I'm pressing the wrong key. I'm sorry. I say I'm sorry a lot because I am sorry. This wasn't supposed to go like this, and I'm sad that I had to do it early. That's the other thing too. I had to do it early because I have to be somewhere. That's the door we walked through. That door. So you can't see, so you see the trigger on it. It's that red line right there. I had to, which I actually think I pulled up the door, did I not? Oh, it's actually in here. So I had to actually create the door as a blueprint and put the trigger box on it. But every time I walked into that trigger box, it wouldn't pick up my keys, so the door didn't open. So it's the same thing. Once you get all... So as he set it up, the doors and the player, when the player interacts with the box of the door, as you can see, it'll open, essentially. But this one was different because I had to... This is where it gets messy. I had to, overlapping character, I had to get the key value to open the door. But the key value wouldn't connect to here. Yeah, it kept saying that to me. And I spent such a long, I think it's midnight, about to be 1 AM right now when I'm doing this, and tomorrow I leave for San Diego. So I had to figure it out tonight, and I went through several tutorial videos, I went through several different things, and did a lot of deleting and a lot of like Control-Z and undoing everything, and it was just awful, and I was so upset. And I'm still upset that it doesn't work, but it picks up the keys at least. I'm really upset that the door doesn't open, so I'll get doctor points on that, and that's okay. But, so, essentially, it's just a mess. And this is the only way the door would work. And it worked, it let me do all of this. But it doesn't actually work. So that's the door. This is how the texts are. This is the first text when you the welcome to the escape house. So you had a billboard, text render. It was just simple. Actually, I can show you. Oh, I can't believe I'm that stupid. I pulled it off and expected you to see. I have dual monitors. I'm so sorry. Let me go back to the exit door. So, like I said, this is essentially the same thing as the keys, except for this part, which is supposed to be like the lock system. The true or false is like, well, if you have both of the keys, which is what this is, you can unlock it, essentially. But because the key values, they weren't working, and I was doing everything that the tutorial was doing, so I don't know what I was doing wrong. So I just left it be. Oop, that's not the one I want. So this is it's so dumb, sorry. So this is how the texts were set up. You have your billboard and text render. So that, we'll minimize it, how about that? This one. So that when you walked onto this trigger, when you walked into this trigger, which is why I put this dumb little Unity prop in from starter content, just so it's like, oh, why is that there? So you can walk towards it, and when you step on that trigger, and that text appears. And the text appears as it does. More location. To that point, every tick. So every time you walk on it, it appears, and it rotates to wherever you are. So if you go like around, you can't, but if you went in a circle around that square in which the tutorial was, it would follow you. As long as you're in the trigger, which once again is impossible, but that's the idea. As for these, I don't know what went wrong. They both have, it's all the same thing. In both of these. So that's weird. Now let's get into the mess. The mess which is the whole map blueprints. Yeah, it's a lot. Alright, so we're going to go down over here. This is the door trigger, the first door that you walk through, which, let's get an eye on that. So, this one, that door, right there. That door, walk up to it, and there is the door matinee, which I don't think I can open it. Oh, we can. So this is the matinee door movement. This is where it starts and this is where it ends. So in order to do that, it was simply you put all this in, which was new group empty, and then as you click on the door, you would click on here, actors, and it would say add selected actors from over there. Then you would do it again, on it, and you would add new movement track. And then you would set it your time length. So I made the doors open 2 seconds each. The red is where you can't go no more, and the green is how long the door will actually open. So then this is your time-lapse bar, which opens, here, I'll move it to the side. Oops. That's what I meant to do. That's okay. Okay. Alright, I'm sorry. Jesus. So, when you moved it this way, so you would press enter as it was here, and then you would move it here, and on the door, you would rotate it. Sorry, that's nothing. You would rotate it so that it was facing this way at the end. Then you would press enter again, and you would have your door animation. And that's how that worked. And it was when you pressed O for open, is how the door would open. This over here is the couch, which basically works the same exact way. With the only difference is the matinee goes up and down, which is you would just, instead of rotating it, you would just move it up on your, when you hit, so you would press enter, move it to the end, move it up, press enter again, and then you would have the up down animation. And you'd press U for up, like the movie, whenever you wanted it to move up. It doesn't come back down, which is fine. Then we're gonna go to, oh, where is that? There it is. Go here. Oh. That's not it. There it is. This is for the safe, which kind of works the same way. Let's go in. I'm sorry. Unreal runs real slow on my computer because I have Photoshop open right now, because I have a Photoshop assignment that I have to do because I'm going to be in San Diego. So, originally, this was a box, but I had to change it because you can't delete boxes, apparently. Like, these boxes that are our walls. So you have your little, this is the door itself, and so you think, oh, delete the door, and you can reach in and get it. But you can't actually pick up the keys by just clicking on them or anything. You have to walk through them, and you can't walk through them with the box around it. So, the X opens, the X destroys, this is the door. So the X destroys the door when you press X on it, for X marks the spot. And then this is the safe itself. When you press Z on it, it gets destroyed. Z for zebra. And that's how that's how it worked. And all of these, are the texts, which I need to find. There it is, the first one. So the texts work with a beginning when you step on the trigger box. So beginning trigger box when you're not on it is hidden. The text is hidden. And then at the end, when you step on it, when you step on the box, it's not hidden. That's what this is. It's not hidden, so you can see the text, it's not hidden when you step on it, and then when you step off of it, at the end of it, it is hidden. And that's how the texts work. And that's how they all work. They all basically are the same thing. Text 2, that's the text when you walk in. The first text is the one outside. The second text over here is the one inside when you first walk in. Text 3 is supposed to be the one on the left with the couch, and text 4 is supposed to be the one on the right with the safe. But for some reason, this one worked afterwards, after we stepped on it. This one did not, and so I don't know what that's about. But that's about it. I was gonna do more, and I feel bad about it. I was actually gonna make this scary, and I was gonna have a pop-up trigger that when you walked in, an object or person would pop up all of a sudden, and it'd be like escape before they get you. And I was also going to have a third key, but because I was swamped with projects, let's see. I was swamped with projects. So I worked on it a little bit after phase 1 week. I built the whole level first, like I said in phase 2. I wanted to build the whole level first because I was basically creating a box you had to escape from. So if if the world wasn't there, you couldn't really plan on what areas were going to have the keys and where your start and how you and exit were going to be. So I did that all of the first week. The second week I couldn't, after turning in phase 2, I couldn't do anything, and I could barely do anything the first week too, which I am making excuses, and I know I shouldn't because it is partly my fault. And I accept any grade that I get. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. It's just how it is. It's just busy schedule. And then, so the week after turning in phase 2, I had no time at all. I had to do this today, which is Thursday the 24th. That's today. I know, dating this video isn't good, but because tomorrow I have to go to San Diego, and Saturday and Sunday and Monday, so I won't be back until Monday. So I had to do it today, but I also have to do a Photoshop project that's due on the Monday as well, which is right here. But I didn't have time to do that either. So I've been really swamped. No excuse. I get whatever grade that I get. I'm not asking you to give me any pity. I'm just saying that's why everything is like how it is, and why why the keys don't open the door, because I don't have enough time to do it. Like I said, it's 1:11 a.m. in the morning, and I have to finish my Photoshop project tonight as well, so I probably won't be getting any sleep, but it is a 5-hour drive to San Diego, so I can sleep during that. So thank you for listening, and this is my project. And I'm sorry, Derek, Mr. Clark, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for anyone else who had to watch, because that's all I can say is sorry.